What if I told you that you could start saving money this month, even if you're making minimum wage, even if you're living paycheck to paycheck right now? I'm about to show you the exact system that helped thousands of people break free from the paycheck to paycheck cycle, regardless of their income level. And no, this isn't about cutting out your daily coffee or living off ramen noodles. Hey everyone, welcome back to Luxona, where millionaires are made. Today, we're diving deep into something that most personal finance gurus won't tell you: how to actually save money when you're earning a low income. If you've ever felt like budgeting advice only works for people making six figures, this video is specifically for you. Before we jump in, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell, because we drop weekly content on building wealth without debt, mastering your money mindset, and growing your income step by step. Let's be real for a moment. Most budgeting advice out there assumes you have extra money floating around. Just save 20% of your income, they say. Build a 6-month emergency fund, they suggest. But what happens when you're making $1,200 a month and your rent alone is $800? What happens when every dollar is already spoken for before you even get your paycheck? Here's the truth that most financial experts won't acknowledge. Traditional budgeting advice fails low-income earners because it's designed for people who already have disposable income. Today, we're throwing that playbook out the window and giving you strategies that actually work when money is tight. The strategies I'm sharing today aren't theory. They're battle-tested methods inspired by financial experts like Dave Ramsey, Graham Stephan, the Budget Mum, and the Budgetnista. But more importantly, these are techniques that have worked for real people earning real low incomes, not hypothetical examples with perfect numbers. I've researched hundreds of success stories from people who started with nothing and built their first $1,000 in savings, then their first $5,000, and eventually broke free from financial stress entirely. The key isn't earning more money first. It's maximizing what you already have. Let's start with the foundation, the Dave Ramsey zero-based budget, but adapted for low-income earners. Here's how it works. Every single dollar you earn gets assigned a job before you spend it. If you make $1,200 this month, you're going to allocate every single one of those $1,200 to specific categories until you reach zero. This might sound impossible when money is tight, but here's the game changer. You're going to prioritize differently than traditional advice suggests. Step 1. List your absolute survival expenses. I'm talking rent, utilities, minimum food, transportation to work, and any minimum debt payments. These are non-negotiable. Let's say that totals $1,100. Step 2. Here's where it gets interesting. That remaining $100 doesn't automatically go to entertainment or eating out. Instead, you're going to split it strategically. Put $25 into what I call a survival buffer. This covers unexpected expenses like a prescription or bus fare when you're short. Put another $25 into your first emergency fund, even if it seems impossibly small. The remaining $50 goes into sinking funds, small amounts saved for predictable expenses like car registration, holiday gifts, or back-to-school supplies. This prevents these expected costs from derailing your budget later. Now here's the psychological breakthrough that changes everything. You're not trying to save hundreds of dollars immediately. You're building the habit of intentional money allocation. After 3 months of this system, you'll start seeing patterns in your spending and finding small optimizations that add up to bigger savings. The Budget Mom calls this paying yourself first with purpose, and it works because you're not depriving yourself. You're planning ahead. Step 3. Track every single transaction. But here's the twist. Don't just track what you spent. Track how you felt about each purchase. Were you stressed, rushed, happy? This emotional tracking reveals spending triggers that most people never identify. Graham Stephan talks about this in his content. Understanding the psychology behind your spending is more valuable than any budgeting app. Now let's talk about the elephant in the room: saving without debt. When you're on a low income, the temptation to use credit cards for emergencies is overwhelming. But here's what the budget needs to teach us that most people miss. You can build financial security without going into debt, even on a tight budget. The secret is what I call micro-emergency preparedness. Instead of trying to build a $1,000 emergency fund immediately, start with $25. I know that sounds ridiculous, but here's why it works. That $25 covers most small emergencies that would otherwise force you to overdraft your account or use a credit card. A prescription copay, a single grocery item you forgot, a small car repair part. These tiny expenses are what keep low-income earners trapped in debt cycles. Once you have that first $25 buffer, you'll be amazed at how much more secure you feel. Then build to $50, then $100. Each milestone builds confidence and breaks the scarcity mindset that keeps people stuck. Next, let's cover sinking funds, the game-changing strategy that most budgeting advice skips. Sinking funds are small amounts you save for predictable expenses throughout the year. Even on a low income, you can save $5 to $10 per month for things like car registration, birthday gifts, holiday expenses, or seasonal clothing needs. Here's the math that proves this works. If you save $8 per month for holiday gifts, by December, you'll have $96 to spend instead of panicking about gift money. If you save $10 per month for car maintenance, you'll have $120 when your car needs attention instead of facing a financial crisis. The key is starting small and being consistent. Even $3 per month compounds into meaningful amounts over time. Now let's address the mindset shift that separates successful savers from everyone else. Stop thinking about budgeting as restriction and start thinking about it as intentional money management. Every dollar you allocate purposefully is a dollar working for your future self, instead of disappearing into random purchases you can't even remember. This is where Dave Ramsey's approach really shines. When you give every dollar a job, you eliminate what he calls lifestyle creep spending. You know exactly where your money goes because you decided where it goes before you spent it. But here's my adaptation for low-income earners. Be more flexible with your categories than traditional budgeters suggest. If you budgeted $30 for entertainment but only spent $20, don't feel guilty about moving that $10 to groceries or savings. Rigid budgeting fails when money is tight because life is unpredictable. The goal is intentional allocation, not perfect adherence to predetermined numbers. Let's talk about tracking systems that actually work for busy people with limited resources. You don't need expensive apps or complicated spreadsheets. The Budget Mums approach uses simple pen and paper tracking that takes less than 5 minutes per day. Write down every expense as it happens, categorize it weekly, and review monthly. The magic isn't in the system, it's in the consistency. When you track expenses consistently for 90 days, patterns emerge that reveal opportunities for optimization you never noticed before. Maybe you're spending $40 per month on convenience store purchases during lunch breaks. That awareness alone can help you redirect that money towards savings by packing lunch twice a week instead of 5 times. Here's a critical point that most financial advice misses. Building wealth on a low income requires thinking like an entrepreneur about your expenses. Instead of just tracking what you spend, start evaluating the return on investment for each purchase. Does that $5 coffee give you enough energy and focus to perform better at work? Then it might be worth it. Does that $25 streaming service provide genuine relaxation and stress relief? Maybe that's valuable too. But does that $15 impulse purchase at the checkout line add any real value to your life? Probably not. This entrepreneurial mindset helps you make spending decisions based on value rather than emotion or impulse. Now let's discuss the income side of the equation, because saving money is only half the battle. While this video focuses on budgeting strategies, I need to acknowledge that sometimes the solution isn't just better budgeting, it's also increasing income. But here's the approach that works for low-income earners. Start with optimizing what you have before trying to earn more. Master your current budget first, then use that foundation to support income-growing activities. Whether that's learning new skills, taking on side work, or pursuing better employment opportunities, having a solid budgeting foundation makes every dollar of additional income more powerful. The confidence you build from successfully managing a tight budget translates directly into confidence in pursuing better opportunities. Finally, let's address the long-term vision that keeps you motivated when budgeting feels restrictive. Every small financial decision you make today is either moving you toward financial freedom or keeping you trapped in paycheck-to-paycheck living. The $5 you save this week might seem insignificant, but it's training your brain to prioritize your future self over immediate gratification. That's the mindset shift that separates people who build wealth from people who stay stuck, regardless of income level. Remember, this isn't about perfection. It's about progress. If you implement even half of these strategies consistently for 6 months, you'll be amazed at how much more control you feel over your finances. Start with the zero-based budget. Add tracking, implement one sinking fund, and build your first $25 emergency buffer. Those 4 steps alone will transform your relationship with money. If this video helped you see budgeting in a new way, make sure to subscribe for weekly content on building wealth without debt, mastering your money mindset, and growing your income step by step. At Luxona, we believe millionaires are made through consistent action, not perfect circumstances. Your income doesn't determine your financial future. Your money management habits do. Drop a comment below and let me know which strategy you're going to implement first. I read every comment and love hearing about your progress. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video where we'll dive deeper into specific income-boosting strategies that complement these budgeting foundations.